What up, everybody? What up? What up? What up? This is your first VP, Isaiah Carter. And I would like to just start off saying, I would like to give honor to God, who is the head of my life, to all the bishops, all the elders, all the district elders, all the Suffragan bishops, everybody in their respectful places, but also you. I want to especially give honor to you for being on this live today. And we thank God. Welcome to the MDC PYPU Council Chit Chat. This is part two. This is our second one. And y'all, I am so excited for tonight's conversation. I'm super excited. But before we get into the conversation, we got some church announcements. All right. We got some church announcements. November, let me get the dates right. November 3rd at 5 p.m. We will be having our pre-kickoff council session. All right. The theme is the power of one. We got Reverend DJ Hill coming through. We got Urshan College Choir coming through. And you know what? We got one of the guests that's going to be there that's not on the flyer, but you already know he's going to be in the building, and that is Jesus himself. So look, y'all, if you want to come and experience God, you're going to have to come to this service. All right. You're going to have to come through. So remember, it's a Sunday night service. Make sure you go home, take that church nap that you love, but make sure you get ready in time to be at Bethesda at 5 p.m. on that day. But all right, I talked enough. Let me go ahead and bring in my guests. We got two great people. And remember, we're going live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. But anyway, we got some special guests today. I got two people. First, we have the Kentucky and Tennessee Young People President, Melvin Boyd II. My brother. What up, sir?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm glad you're here today, sir. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right, we got somebody else, the youth and young adult pastor of Chosen Vessel, my brother, Eric Bowens. Come on, sir.
My man. What's up, family?
Hey, what up, sir?
Melvin is in the room.
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm on top and rising higher. I'm great.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on now. That feel like that's a message right there, sir. Feels like that's a message. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I got an icebreaker for the beginning, all right? And those of you all that are watching live, you also can chime in and give your responses in the chat. So this icebreaker is simply this or that. You will be given two options, and you got to say which one you would prefer, all right? So first is testimony service or no testimony service.
This or that?
This or that. You can't have both of them.
Now, are we going with nowadays or how we would like it to be structured?
In a normal Sunday service, do you want testimony service or you want no testimony service? On Sunday worship, we're not talking about Bible class. We're not talking about weekday classes.
I'm going to let Reverend go first.
Y'all scared?
I'm going to say a little this. Right? Is that how you answer? This or that?
No. You just say whether it's testimony service or no testimony service.
Oh, got you. This or that. Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I say we need a little testimony service every once in a while.
A little testimony service. Okay. All right.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. All right, Melvin?
I'm right there with him every once in a while. It's only because people just, they say a lot of stuff.
And that's why I'm team no testimony service. All right. All right. So praise team or choir?
Choir for me.
Choir.
Wow. Okay. I like it. Okay. Now, track or live band?
Hold on. You didn't answer.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm gonna have to say praise team.
What year you born in?
Hey, 92. Hey, I was around for some of the choirs.
You definitely was.
Yeah. I mean, but still, I gotta go with the praise team. It's okay. There's a simplicity that comes with praise teams that I love.
No, them praise teams is complicated, but we'll get back to it.
That's a later discussion. That's a later discussion. All right, now track or live band?
Live band all day.
Live band.
All right, now this might get some of y'all in trouble. Hymns or contemporary gospel?
Hymns.
Give me a hymn. Stir my spirit up.
Oh,
Stir my spirit up. God.
give me
All you
hymns.
need is that one line and the church is gone.
It's over.
Gone.
I love a hymn. I will say I do love a hymn.
And we just left our my home church's church anniversary, and they teased because they said we sung all the verses. All
Really?
the verses.
See, I didn't
Come
grow
on.
up with
Now listen, MDC just said there shall be light in the evening time.
that. Come on,
The
son.
path of glory. See, yeah. I'm with it. Hymns
Hey,
hit different.
Yeah.
they do hit different
Now,
now.
what you
Now I have
got to
an
say?
understanding.
What do you
Now-
have to say, man of God?
Oh
We
God,
want contemporary music.
I feel a little unsaved now, but I'm gonna have to say contemporary gospel. I'm gonna
Contemporary.
have to, now, I love the hymn though. Give me a good hymn. However, yeah, go
So
ahead
you,
and give me that
you
time.
want a hymn every quarter.
Every once in a while, the
Hey,
same
Eric,
way
you
y'all
just want them to quote it. Don't sing it. Just quote it.
Yeah, quote it. Quote it in your
quote it,
opening,
don't sing
but
it.
don't sing it. If you don't testify, don't sing. If you sing, don't testify. He don't want it. The whole thing. Just quote it. And please turn on the track for the contemporary music so we can get started. Jesus.
Man.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm gonna have to represent for my generation, and I'm gonna have to say contemporary gospel. I'm just saying.
Oh, tonight's gonna be interesting.
Tonight gonna be interesting indeed. All right, now this is the last one. Now this is what determines if you're saved or not.
Okay.
Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
Holiness.
See,
I mean,
God.
I'm going to the Pentecostal church.
Oh God.
I wanna reside where Chick-fil-A is, but I wanna be honest, they ain't open all the time that I need them to be open. When my soul is stirring late in the midnight hour, Cane's is open.
My
Huh?
Well, you know, strip clubs is always open all night.
Jesus. Loose your hold.
Just because it's open don't mean it's right for you. Come on now. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
Well, Cane's I am. Cane's. The craving only hits on the Sunday.
It only hits on a Sunday.
Listen.
Closed on Sunday. My God.
Mm.
All right, y'all. Okay, that's enough.
Hey, now he didn't want to answer this one. He said he knows better, but
He eat
Oh.
McDonald's probably.
Y'all already know the answer will be Chick-fil-A over here because I am saved and sanctified. Sundays are for the Lord.
you're
They
right.
shouldn't be out there flipping fries or throwing
But
fries or chicken. And no, they need to be in church.
But somebody does have to serve us when we get out of church. Somebody got to be open. And if it won't be them, that's all right.
It won't be there. Oh, okay. So look, so with us all, before we go further, like, can y'all give a little background of like how long y'all been in church, how long y'all been around, how long y'all been musicians, singers, all of that? Give us some background.
Oh, so how long I've been around? All my life.
Okay.
I'm like third, fourth generation, so all my life being in church. How long I've been involved in music, singing and stuff probably since I was a kid, you know, children's choir on up, coming up in church. And then playing wise, I've probably been musician at this point almost 20 years.
Okay.
I started out on drums and then moved over to keys and stuff. So yeah, almost 20 years, just about.
Okay, cool. All right, Eric.
With me, I mean, let's see. It's since I've been about 7 or 8, if you will. Started playing by ear, had a desire to play in church, grew up in a smaller church, 204 East 18th Avenue, Berean Apostolic Pentecostal Church.
Okay.
Grew up there, and you know, God has seen fit to allow me to be able to see and do some things, and in music and be the minister of music for, at one point, the what was we, Northwestern District Council. Now that was Kansas, Colorado, and Missouri. No, Kansas. I gotta say it right. At that point, it was Kansas, Colorado. Yeah, Kansas, Colorado, and Missouri. And then now the Heart of America Council of Churches. Uh, I don't transpose. I can play in every key. Praise God.
I'm gonna vouch for that. I'm gonna vouch for Eric because Eric has played at the convention, so I know Eric doesn't transpose. Eric played at the convention, so he don't transpose. Oh, he played on organ. Let me correct. He played on organ at the convention, so he don't transpose.
My Lord.
You know, so I try. I don't transpose. Praise the Father. That just happens not to be my ministry.
Yeah.
Not in that season or this one. Praise the Father. But no, y'all, and I was able. I'm actually really blessed to be on here tonight. Okay, wait a second. But I'm blessed to be on here tonight because I also, for a season when I lived in St. Louis, was a part of the MDC and
Yes, sir.
and served as minister of music for a season there, and super dope. So, you know, that's kind of been what I've been able to do, and been in church my whole life.
So we know who's on the live tonight, amen. We know.
Woo, we know.
Oh, Shondo, let me hush. I know a little something about me, just a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. See me, I'm not gonna give all of my credentials because we ain't gonna talk about that. However, I did grow up in the church all my life, so I can relate in that sense. I try to play piano, try to play organ. I can dibble dabble, but not nothing compared to what y'all can do. But no, so I grew up in traditional old school church, right? And so there's definitely been services where I went in there and there wasn't a musician. And I remember hearing a little chant, a little praise that was like, "We don't need no music. We don't need no music." So my question is, does a church really need a band? Do we need music?
Hey, now hold on, Isaiah.
Huh?
I remember at a pre-council musical I was having. I ain't gonna say in which state. Uh, I was at a pre-council musical, and they went to saying we don't need no music. We don't need no music, and I said, and I told the musician, hey, that mean break the music. When they say that mean break. I mean, he got up. He got out of here. He said, I'm sick of them saying they don't need no music. Brother, it's a joke almost. They don't mean it from their heart.
Nah.
But they don't really mean it. But honestly speaking, do we need music? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I said that we need music from so many scenarios and standpoints, but even in the Bible, when we look at what music did, how it calmed spirits, how it was able to change atmospheres, we absolutely need music. Music can calm you down in your house.
Yeah.
Music can turn you up too. Put on the right song. If you want to fight, you put on the right song. Nuck if you buck. And and you know what songs you need to put on to turn yourself up, but you also know what music you need to turn on to calm your spirit and to calm you down. So I'm one that always believes that we need music.
Yeah. Melvin?
I agree. I was thinking when you first asked it, somebody might say it depends on how strongly technical you want to be. But I do agree that we do need music. It does have its purpose, and it's been involved with God ever since Moses.
Yeah.
They came out, Miriam grabbed a tambourine. There we go. I mean, and that's what happened. So ever since then, music has been a part down through time. So it is very vital in the church.
Okay, so that's good. So with all the programs that we have today, with like the tracks, the hoop or whoop triggers, and all of that,
I got
can a church survive musically without having a band?
You say full band? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, without having a band, with having all of these tracks we get now and all these different digital ways of playing songs or whatever in our worship settings, can a church survive musically without having a live band and just, lean on those things that are, like devices or whatever?
I would say yes, only because I know there's some that's doing it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's their own personal preferences.
Yeah.
But yeah, they probably could. I don't know how. For me being musical, I don't know how much enjoyable that would be for me to just be at church like that.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm a musician and stuff too, so it would irritate me probably. Um, and Eric probably knows it's like you go into a church or you playing, matter of fact, and then they like, we're gonna sing to a track. And you're like, well, what am I here for? Like,
Yeah.
what am I
Exactly.
here for? So yeah, some of them are doing it, but I definitely think live music is it's a totally different feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would agree on live feel. Obviously, there's only so much you're able to do. I mean, you said hoop triggers, and I got it. I mean, it can do whatever you need, but it only goes so far. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because as loaded as this is, the truth is, how far can I really go with this? And
Yeah.
and I'll say this from a creative standpoint. I'll say from a creative standpoint, maybe you could. I'll say last week we just did a pre-recording with our ministerial alliance at the church, and I used hoop triggers,
Mm.
but I used it because I was able to control it. You see what I'm saying? I'm a
Yeah.
musician though. I know
Yeah.
the feel and the flow in which it needs to be. So if me and Melvin just did that, it's one thing. But if you got one of us there, what you using that for? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm not saying that the common person couldn't use it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm also saying there's a total different there's a total different response you will always get with an authentic and real musician.
Absolutely.
And
And
one of the things I think they haven't created with none of these apps, and maybe Eric, you gone and patent it. None of them have created one for like playing following a soloist because that's
Mm.
very spontaneous.
very it's extremely, and that right in that area is where it's like, what can we do? How far can we go with this?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't
that's
manage
that,
that.
that's a deep one.
Because the worst thing is having a worship moment or a moment where you just in and then the track just in and it's just dead silence.
I couldn't imagine.
Dead silence. It's like, man, so we
Hey, I
definitely,
couldn't imagine, Isaiah. It's
hey,
like you in worship and you like go back a few minutes. I don't want to hear the singing. And then they go back a little too far and then they start singing. You're like, it just mess up the whole I could imagine.
the whole atmosphere is now gone, shifted.
It is.
Hey, but no, so we definitely see how like music is important, is
Mm.
needed, and like with that, knowing that is needed, this kind of brings me to the conversation of should musicians get paid, because we see that it's not common that everybody has musicians. So what are your thoughts on whether or not musicians should get paid and why?
Melvin.
He said it before I could say his name. So this is a long debate.
Go for it.
Him and me may not have jobs on Sunday, but
Good thing I'm not a musician.
so no, I do think they should, especially when you think about the ones that do it full time. Especially the ones that do it full time. And because it is an art, if I compared it to people that do art, I think people, and we see it in movies and stuff sometimes too, or TV shows where somebody's working a job and they're like, I want to quit because I just want to be a painter or I want to be this or that. And people like don't take them serious. And it's the same way. I think it's not taking it serious. Like they can't really be compensated for, but there's a lot of work that goes involved, especially for those that take it serious. There's a lot of preparation because generally they're going to want to make it as perfect as possible. They're going to want to make it, those people that are doing it full time like that, they want to make sure they're providing their best. They want to give their all into it. So they're going to be practicing nonstop. They're going to be giving everything they can for the church and service. So all of that time and those hours is work.
Yeah.
So I think they definitely should. I mean, the work that they're doing is also enhancing the service and worship experience as well.
Absolutely.
Well, I totally agree with what Melvin said, and the truth is biblical. At the end of the day, and you can slice it multiple ways, but you can go to Nehemiah 13. Nehemiah 13:10. I also learned that the temple musician and other Levites had left Jerusalem and gone back to their farms because the people had not been giving them enough to live on.
Mm.
Uh, you know, at the end of the day, I think we expect something out of certain individuals that we would not desire for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, whether you let, I don't know, man. Well, President, if I'm wrong, please forgive me, President. But at the end of the day, I'll say it this way, from the standpoint of we understand honorariums and itinerant preachers, right? And even if you came down the street to preach at my anniversary, even if I don't give you a set honorarium, I'm going to give you something. And I think at times, just as much work as they're putting in to study, so are musicians putting that in to study their craft. And I mean, Melvin can tell you, especially now, it is very, without saying it, it's competitive. It's competitive out here. It's competitive from a standpoint of trying to learn the music, learn the Ty Tribbett song. Man, all them sounds that's inside of there, and y'all want to hear them.
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear all of them. Why they just play that on keys? That was a synthesizer playing it. Y'all want to hear all of that, and somebody got to program that, and
Yeah.
somebody got to do. So, in short, absolutely, people should get paid. And if we want to talk about the level of pay, that's a whole nother situation on who should get paid what. But
Yeah.
they should get paid.
When he said that, it made me think about the musicians. Like he said, people want to hear all those sounds. You listening to James Fortune and everybody else, and they got bands and horn sections. But I'm at a church with an organ.
Yeah.
So what you don't know is I'm bringing in my own equipment, or I'm taking my money and buying extra equipment to bring all those sounds, bring all this stuff in, bringing all the click tracks and everything else for the service. Nobody knows that, but when I got here with nothing but an organ or maybe a piano.
Sheesh.
But I done brought all this stuff in here, trying to create this and create that and make it amplified and all of that for you to be like, God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank
You'll
you,
get
sir.
paid on the other side.
After I'm dead.
Payday will come after a while.
So we have
Okay.
yeah.
I see that. We always talk about musicians in terms of instrumentalists, but vocals are musicians too. Shouldn't they receive pay? I believe absolutely they should. I believe absolutely they should. Because let me say this: just as I will use my hands, and Melvin can attest to this, man. And thanks be to God, I'm not playing in this season like that. But man, there's days I'm going to the doctor and making sure, hey, what's going on? Making sure, and I'm researching it. Oh man, it could be carpal tunnel. It could be it. You say all of these things with my hands. When if this is money, Melvin's hands is money. You see what I'm saying? Like, just as somebody else that may be in a profession, a keyboard is money to them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, in those things. Even the more a vocalist, their vocal cords
Yeah.
on bad sound systems. That's a whole nother thing. I mean, because I could be frustrated as a musician. I mean, like, turn me up, and you don't turn me up. It's like, and I could bang, because I'm sure we all done did that. We bang, trying to get more sound out of it, ain't nothing coming out of it. But a singer does the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're screaming trying to get more wind, more volume out. And they're now damaging their vocal cords. I think I believe that they also deserve compensation.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree. Now, and this goes into skill level and everything else. Like, if you on the average side of things, or below average, I would say, then, or I'll just say it this way: a lot of people try to abuse systems and abuse payments and all that stuff, and try to get into certain industries or certain things for the money. And that's the, I guess, the side that's a problem in a sense, because I just can't go up to a church and be like, okay, I need you to pay me to be a praise and worship leader. I know that I don't have all the capabilities of being that, of being what requires out of a full-time praise and worship leader. So I just feel like it comes down to the person's ability and the skill level. Like we talked about biblically. Like David, he was skillful, in order to do what he was doing. So I feel like when it comes to the payment thing, it should be paid off of your skill level. And all the things y'all discussed, a lot of us don't see that side of musicians. We don't see um, all the equipment you got to bring in all the time, because we just see the laptop and we don't know what's all behind that laptop, that you had to plug this in, you had to do that, had to do that. And I think sometimes it's good to hear from the musician side of how things are, so that we won't be judging from the other side of why they getting paid that much money to come play, because it's needed.
I mean, when you think about Isaiah, and like I said, Eric, he knows this. Like, so the choir director tells you, or the praise and worship leader tells you, we're gonna learn these songs. You learn them, and they difficult. Some of them changes and all that y'all love, because this congregation knows the changes, so they moving when the change comes. So you got to learn all of that. You got to learn all them songs.
Yeah.
And then y'all get to choir rehearsal, you going through it, you trying to make sure it's right. And then Sunday morning, like, yeah, we're gonna sing this instead. And like, do you know how late I was up trying to make sure I got that one chord that y'all everybody love right? Or that one run, like how hard that was trying to learn it. And then we just gonna switch. But no one knows that part. We just gotta, and then the thing is, don't let it be a spontaneous service where we just randomly throw it, because we're expected to know that music, period. So that's when you mentioned testimony service earlier. Testimony services was a great, for all of us that played during that time, it's a great learning tool, but it is so spontaneous because it doesn't matter what they sing, they expect you to know it.
Yep.
It don't matter if it's old, new, present. In testimony service, if a song is sung, you are expected to know it. And that's whatever key they sing it in.
Yeah. If it's a key.
If it's a
You better find it.
Find it. And they're not gonna stop. Keep singing.
No.
Find it.
That's hilarious. Okay, so
It's real.
So we see that.
And can I say something real quick to that,
sir.
Isaiah? For real. K Mitre takes me out. I think that is something that's extremely important. If I could really push this, wait, let me read this. It shouldn't be difficult to take the music department to take.
The problem with that is everybody don't pay. Okay. Everybody don't pay the guest singers, but
yeah, they don't. They don't.
In most churches, the only person getting paid is the guest speaker. In a lot of churches.
Most.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I will say this from a musician standpoint. When we talked about Isaiah, because you said sometimes all you all see is the computer.
Yeah.
And there is a side behind that computer, because y'all see a computer. I'm gonna just give a computer that you probably see. It's probably a MacBook Pro or a MacBook anything.
Yeah.
And that MacBook Pro is probably, let's just go, because we need certain spaces, probably $1,500. And then whatever DAW system, whatever system that we're using, whether that's Pro Tools, whether that's Logic, whether that's Ableton Live, whatever we're going to use, that we got to pay for. And then sounds, because we're trying to find the sound that y'all want. And then you got to pay for sounds. And because you like to perfect your craft, then you're just gonna pay for difference. You're doing all of these things that, again, like you said, they don't know. With most of our churches, if we're just transparently honest, most of our churches, they don't have the means to actually buy that stuff for us to do.
Right.
Correct.
You know, there are other churches that do, and that's what they do. When you come into a situation, they give you all of those things. Here, they ask you, what do you need to be successful in this situation? And I can speak of that because that's how it was when I got to Chosen Vessel as a youth pastor. What do you need to be successful? Here's this, those kind of things. But most churches don't have those level of means. So the problem becomes for musicians, the hurt becomes for musicians. I spent my money. And guess what? When my MacBook crashed because I was playing that soundtrack and you was ready for me to hit it, boom, and it went off, and then this thing is overhidden. Or are you like, are y'all being rude? You know, y'all, never mind. Y'all worship leaders and individuals, and y'all like, hey, come on, start. And I'm like, I'm trying to start, but my computer just froze up. The computer I bought,
Yeah.
the computer I have to work on. And then the level of disrespect that comes from a whole nother scenario. Why are you getting paid? Why are you? And I hate to say this. Hold on.
I want to tap in.
Hold on. Can y'all put that one back up? I didn't get to read it.
I want to get to that question. I want to answer that one.
If musicians get paid, all ministry workers should get paid.
I want to answer that.
Oh, okay. I want to come to that one. That one's good. That one's beloved. That's good.
I want to get that.
But I'm not just saying it from a sake of musicians. I think there is a level of a line that has to be drawn across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think that at times, and let me talk from both standpoints, I think at times we do a disservice to musicians and creators as a whole. I'm talking musicians, singers, sound engineers, camera operators, all the folks behind the scene. I think we do a disservice to them as a whole. I do. But I also think sometimes we put them on a pedestal. And the line got to be drawn because some musicians can get beside themselves. Hold on now. Hold it. All right. Yeah, bring it down. Now I know you're not the star here.
Yeah.
And if we all took a perspective that we're not the star in the situation, that the only star is Jesus, half of this wouldn't even really be discussions. It just it wouldn't really be discussions, but it's also how your church is ran. That's a whole nother situation. Like, because now, and I said that to lead to that. I don't know, Isaiah, it's your conversation, but me and Melvin ready to answer the other question.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Because it's how your ministry set up. Because if we look at other ministries at times, your administrators are getting paid. You have some pastoral teams are getting paid. But when we understand that it's for the upbuilding of the kingdom and that it is because there's functions that need to be doing, if your ministry can afford to do it, I think they should. And I think that leaders of certain departments and certain things should, it may not be a weekly stipend, it may not be a monthly, but I think there should be set up some level of appreciation across the board that really lets us understand what we're doing.
I love that.
That's I don't know if I fully answered. I wanted to leave some for Melvin to get in that one, but that's my take. I feel like it should be across the board, but there also should be, I'm telling y'all, most of this is biblical and it can show where the line should be drawn.
All right, Melvin, I'm gonna let you go ahead and tackle a little bit.
So I would say number one, just straight up, how is McDonald's able to pay their workers? They got money coming in.
Wait a minute.
So a lot of times, like he said earlier, if a church is able to pay musicians, so it's the same thing. Now, that's short part. So on one hand, if people ain't giving, ain't no money coming in the church, they can't really pay. And truth be told, on a lot of our smaller churches, the pastor's barely getting paid. If he getting paid, if he's that type of pastor where he's like willing to not take it because he's trying to take care of the church. So that's one aspect. The other aspect would be outside of the pastor at the church. There's probably no other position that is working as long as the musician, even in the actual service. So if you think about an actual service in which we all have been in one, the ushers don't stand and usher the whole time. The ministers ain't praying for people at the altar the whole time. The singers ain't even singing the entire time. They may sing a very long time. The cooks ain't cooking dinner the whole time during service.
Yeah.
No one is hardly doing, but the musicians is expected to play before service. We need a little prelude music, and then we start up. We might get a break, depending on the preacher that you have when he gets up to preach, because sometimes they want you to play soft music when the whole time they talking until they gear up. So now we backing them up in whatever key he preaching in. Then we do an altar call, and anywhere the service, don't let there be a good Pentecostal shout. That could be a long time. So like we're playing the entire time.
Yeah.
No other position, and this is not a discredit to any other position. I don't want no one think that I'm discrediting what any other work is doing in the church, because it is all important.
Yeah.
But no one else is working the entire time, like constantly. And you just got to be ready at all times. No one, even the ushers that go sit down after a while, like, all right, sit down. We done usher. yeah. Though they sound like it's time, it's done. Like everyone at a certain moment, but the musicians don't really get a break. And then the pastors don't, and he said disrespect, but like they don't call out nobody else for going to sit down.
No.
But brother keyboard player, did you walk out? Did you?
Where's he at?
Where's he at?
Please. But
Can I start a fight? And I know we got to get off here.
No, wait, hold on. Yeah. Get started there. Go ahead, start it.
Now, I started by saying I believe that everybody should get paid. Then praise breaks will carry on. I always feel bad for the drummer. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
The best thing he can do is pass out. That would be the best thing. Just stop that joint. I believe everybody, and I started off by saying I believe everybody should, in certain, to a degree, get paid. But let me say this for somebody that you could take this to your staff meeting and argue with somebody else. Here, tell me how long it takes for us to find a musician. Tell me how long it'll take for me to find an usher or a greeter. I can find an usher or a greeter pretty quick. I can't find a musician pretty quick. I can't find, there's certain elements that you're just not going to be able to find quick.
No.
I ain't trying to say that the musician is needed, but I'm telling you the musician is needed. And if y'all want to go to another scripture, just,
Bible.
Some of y'all ain't read your Bible in a while. And you didn't read it yesterday either. The preacher read it. The truth is, for real, if you look at in the Bible and go look it up, where the tithe and offering are supposed to go. If you, I mean, the Bible's right, somebody's wrong. If you look at where the tithe and offering is supposed to go, and I ain't gonna tell you where, you look it up. You just find it. You can inbox me on Facebook. I'll tell you if that's the right one. Jesus. But it says where the tithe and offering is supposed to go, and who's supposed to go to.
Lord, they ain't preached out of Leviticus in a long time.
Things like, musicians are very slim.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
It
So
really
please, y'all respect them, or ain't nobody gonna have no musicians in the world.
Ain't nobody gonna have them. But speaking of that, though, because we actually got like 5 minutes, and I really want to leave on a note of a better note. I'll say that. So with all that we have been talking about when it comes to the relationship between musician, pastor, praise and worship leader, and musician, all of that, we've seen all the viral videos. We've seen everything with the pastors talking disrespectful, musicians being we've seen it all. Can y'all both give, I'll say like one practical way that will develop a healthy relationship between pastor, musicians, praise and worship leader? What's one practical way to try to develop a healthier relationship between all of them?
I would say talking and communication. You gotta start talking to the pastor and having a communication so you can understand. You know, they can understand you. You understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what's needed.
I agree. I agree. Communication.
I was literally gonna say the same thing, Melvin. To be honest with you, and this has been an amazing conversation. I know we got to go. It's been an amazing conversation. Uh, but I am for both sides. I'm for the musician. I'm for the pastor. I'm for the church
Yeah,
as a whole, at large. I want the church to win and the kingdom to win, and it will literally be communication, y'all.
yeah,
I think being honest from jump.
yeah,
What what do you expect out of this? And on both sides, as the musician coming in, asking the pastor, what do you expect out of this? What do you expect out of me? And vice versa, the musician asking, what do you the pastor asking, what do you expect? I think most time it is a one-sided relationship,
yeah,
and it's not always honesty. So I know you said one, but I think it should be communication, honesty, and transparency. All of those things mixed, you will have an amazing relationship. As a musician, growing up and being with Bishop Mark Talbert, I never had issues.
mm,
Never. I didn't run into those issues. Not as a musician, because it was clear. I understood what he wanted. He also understood what we needed as a music department as a whole.
yeah.
Eric, let me
And
ask you a question about
mhm,
that. Based on all the videos and stuff we've seen, would you say most of those situations is because there's no relationship and communication between the musicians and pastors? When we see those videos, it's like, well, if you had talked to them before, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
I think so, because I think it's a lot of one-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Honestly,
One-offs is a whole nother situation, but
Woo!
I think it's a whole lot of one night stands in the spirit.
Jesus.
I do. I think you don't know who you sleeping with. Respectfully on this live. I'm not on my live. Let me stop. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. I'm just saying more grace. Uh,
More grace, more grace. Hey, we have received so much knowledge and information in just this short live, just this short conversation. But I think it's important that we honestly extend that grace and build relationships. We cannot be in the back rooms having all these talks, bashing the musicians, bashing the singer, bashing the worship leader, and we never had a conversation with them. So I think this even speaks to our maturity in God and just maturing as individuals. Like we are not kids. But anyway, we have had another session of counsel chit chat, and
Isaiah, why you can't leave it like that? That was good. But you can't leave it like
it's
that.
too deep. It
You
goes too
you
deep, man.
you
It
can't
goes,
leave it like that because we be feeling them conversations. Okay, but that's another
but
short and
it's
sweet.
yeah, I can't
Oh,
until
we gotta go. Respectful.
but no, those of you all that are on the live, we just want to thank you for being a part of this council chit chat. And please don't forget to donate. We're asking at least $10. All right. Go ahead and send us a little cash out, MDCPYPUSTL, because we want to continue to pay our musicians. We want to continue to pay those that work in
Jesus.
ministry before we don't have none, no. But seriously, we want to be able to
This guy.
continue to bring content, continue to do what we do for God in excellence. Like we in excellence. We don't want to shortchange when it comes to God's word. So asking for that $10 go ahead and send that cash up. And we appreciate you. We thank you. And don't forget the council, November 3rd, is going down. All right. It's going down at Bethesda Temple Church. And we're excited. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And until next time, this has been Council Chick Chat with
What's
your
the
boy, First
what's the
VP,
cash at?
MDCPYPU STL. If it don't go through, just talk to me offline, then I got you. All right, y'all. God bless.